and Tesla's stock price last week was partly blamed on an insider report highlighting Burry's theory about Musk's stock sales. Burry has repeatedly described Tesla as emblematic of a massive asset bubble, meaning that eventually is going to pop. He called its stock price ridiculous in December 2020, predicted at the start of this year that the shares would collapse like the mid-2000s housing market, and suggested the stock could plummet 90% like Amazon and other high-flying stocks did when the dot-com bubble burst. So Michael Burry is saying that, listen, I'm paying attention to the fundamentals of the company and it's not making sense to me. I think that it's incredibly overvalued, and then combine that with the fact that Elon Musk is exercising options, that does not put me in a good feel-good space. And I'm going to put my money where my mouth is and saying that I don't think that this stock is going to be what you think it is long-term. How many of you guys know who Michael Burry is? Michael Burry. How many of you know who Michael Burry is? This guy right here, Michael Burry, is this guy right here. He was made legendary in this book, right? This book is called The Big Short. You can get the book. I like the book. You can also watch the movie. He was played by the guy that played Batman in the Batman series. What was the guy that played Batman in the Batman series? What is his name? He was played by him in that movie. Yeah, I know who you are. He was the guy that played in the Terminator series. What is his name? Y'all tell me in the chat. I'll be right back. Y'all tell me in the chat. On her fancy boots. Rita is out here living. Come here, girl. Come on. Ooh, look at you. Come on. Dip on down and get daddy a hug.
You crazy.
You about to go?
Yes.
You taking care of my stuff?
Yes.
You going by the P.O. box?
Yes.
All right.
Oh,
Don't worry about the melon. I gotta get the I'm gonna get the Porsche wash, and then I'm gonna stop by and take care of that. So
okay.
All right. Boo-doo-doo, boop, boo-doo. All right, y'all. Let's get back into the article. All right, so let me check in the chat and see what y'all said. Christian Bale, that is his name. Christian Bale played Michael Burry in The Big Short, the movie. Who said Christian Slater? Nah, it's Christian Bale. Rita got a hat for every pair of pajamas she be wearing. Jesus Christ. All right, so let's get it popping. Hold on. Rita want to tell me something. She want me to mute. Anyways, all right, so that's my baby. So Michael Burry was made famous, and I got to give you a little bit of background information on who he is before we get into the article. But Michael Burry was made famous and playing this, or he was the investor that bet against the housing market. He was the guy that found out very early through his own research, and he's very much regarded as just this financial genius. He can see numbers and he can see things when other people can't see it. And he is the person that was identified very, very early before the 2007, 2008 recession that the housing market was going to crash. He said it's definitively going to crash. I don't care what nobody is saying. I'm betting against the banks. And he bet against the housing market. and he became a multi-billionaire as a result of it. So this is who Michael Burry is for those of you that are not familiar. I like the book, The Big Short. I've read it twice. It's absolutely awesome, and you guys should check it out too. It's by the same author of The Blind Side and Moneyball, so it's a really, really good book, all right? But Michael Burry is selling, he's saying that Elon Musk selling Tesla stock because essentially it's in a bubble. He's saying that it had nothing to do with the fact of whether or not he was on Twitter talking about should he sell a stock or not, that he had to sell it and he's looking to profit because he thinks that the stock is overvalued. Elon Musk isn't selling Tesla stock because he's short of cash. He just wants to capitalize on the automaker's eye-watering valuation. This is what Michael Burry is tweeting. Now, I'm not giving an opinion either way on this. I'm making my own informed decision. But Michael Burry is saying that, listen, he ain't short. I mean, you know, he just want to capitalize off this eye-watering valuation. So take this with a grain of salt, and let's just use all of the information that we can in order to make an informed decision. All right. He said, let's face it, Elon Musk borrowed against 88.3 million shares, sold all of his mansions, moved to Texas, and is asking Bernie Sanders whether he should sell more stock. He doesn't need cash. He just wants to sell his Tesla positions. Now, I did a little bit of research and I realized that some of the stock awards and stock options that Elon Musk was awarded will expire if he does not exercise them by a certain date. Take that along with your favorite legislative branches and Uncle Joe, Sleepy Joe, looking to raise capital gains taxes and looking to tax the rich more. And all that combined, he was going to sell the stock no matter what because he didn't want to lose it, A, and then B, he didn't want to be taxed at this insane tax rate in which he would have to give more money to the federal government. So this is what my research is telling me, but I'm also taking in consideration everything that Michael Burry is saying also about Tesla and Tesla stock. Burry is a genius and he knows his stuff. So when Burry say, yo, we in a bubble, I start paying attention. I don't always necessarily agree with him, but I got to take his word because this guy called it when everybody was living in dreamland with this stock, with this housing market, okay? The investor of The Big Short fame said last week that Musk had taken out personal loans against his stock. How many of y'all went into the Patreon and looked at the video where I broke down exactly why a lot of these people take out personal loans and gets their stock instead of selling their shares or using the money that they make from their regular jobs in order to make these purchases? Why did I say that? Don't even say it. It's in a Patreon. I break down why it's important for you to take out these personal loans against the assets that you have in order to prevent yourself from giving money to the federal government unnecessarily. All right. But he's saying he's taking out these personal loans against these stocks. He suggests that the Tesla CEO might be selling shares to service those debts. Musk recently committed to selling 10% of his Tesla stock based on the results of a Twitter poll and cashed in nearly $7 billion worth of shares last week. Now, the $7 billion worth of shares is not even close to his 10% of his Tesla shares. But he put up that poll, and I guess it was something fun, but I believe that he was going to sell it either way. Burry's tweet highlighted that Musk had cut his tax bill by moving from California to Texas last year. Why do I like Florida so much, ladies and gentlemen? Texas, Arizona, Tennessee. Why do I like these states? Because they have no income tax, no state income tax, which saves you much, much, much more money. All right. All right. Let's continue. Sold most of his $100 million real estate portfolio and told Senator Bernie Sanders on Sunday that he would sell more stock at the lawmakers' request. Making nice with the lawmakers and the legislative branches. The investor's view is that Musk doesn't need cash, but wants to profit from Tesla's stock prices rising nearly 12-fold since the start of last year. Tesla and Scion Asset Management, which Burry runs, didn't immediately respond to requests for comments from Insider. In a follow-up tweet on Sunday, Burry pointed to Tesla's stock chart and Musk's tweet that the stock price was too high. When the electric vehicle company's valuation was less than 1/5 of its current level, just think about it. He's saying put 2 and 2 together and start paying attention. It's worth noting that both Burry declared last December that he was short Tesla and that Scion held a bearish. Now, there's a bull run, there's a bearish, right? We call bulls, we call bears. Bulls are people that, no, it's not nothing sexual, ladies and gentlemen. Bulls are people that believe that there's a lot of runway and stocks are going to continue to go up, or a specific stock for a specific company is going to continue to go up. They're betting that the stock goes up. Bears is saying that for whatever reason, either the company is fundamentally overvalued, it's going to go down. I was bearish, for example, on Zillow. I broke it down over the last month or so when I said, listen, this is why Zillow is lying to y'all. I'm bearish on the company. They doing something wrong, and I think that their stock is going to crash. And voila, it absolutely did. All right. So he's saying that his company is holding a bearish put option on the stock as recently as June 30th. The investor told CNBC last month that he was no longer betting against Musk's company, but that may have changed, especially as the 15% slump in Tesla's stock price last week was partly blamed on an insider report highlighting Burry's theory about Musk's stock sales. Burry has repeatedly described Tesla as emblematic of a massive asset bubble, meaning that eventually is going to pop. He called its stock price ridiculous in December 2020, predicted at the start of this year that the shares would collapse like the mid-2000s housing market, and suggested the stock could plummet 90% like Amazon and other high-flying stocks did when the dot-com bubble burst. So Michael Burry is saying that, listen, I'm paying attention to the fundamentals of the company and it's not making sense to me. I think that it's incredibly overvalued, and then combine that with the fact that Elon Musk is exercising options. That does not put me in a good feel-good space. And I'm going to put my money where my mouth is and saying that I don't think that this stock is going to be what you think it is long-term. This is what he's saying. And then he's talked about cryptocurrency, so on and so forth, but he hasn't actually shorted crypto. He just talks about it. He says, I've never shorted any cryptocurrency, so on and so forth. All right. So take the information that you can with a grain of salt and then use it strategically for whatever it is that you can use it for in order to make more informed decisions. All right.